If you told me at the beginning of the year that a Digimon game would be one of the best JRPGs of the year, I would have laughed in your face. Now, don't get me wrong, the newer games have been good, but if you've watched some of my recent videos, you know that's not always been the case. But I gotta hand it to Bandai Namco. Digimon Story Time Stranger is a legit great game and truly surprised me. As I mentioned in a previous video, it's truly worth it for so many reasons, like its addictive collection aspect, fun turn-based combat, and impressive production value. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through my experience playing through the game and why you should try it if you haven't already. And special thanks to Bandai Namco for sponsoring this video. Now, when you begin the game, you can choose between one of two playable characters, Dan or Kana Yuki, or you can call them whatever you want. Now, I chose Kana because I always like to play the female characters whenever given the option. And she is an Adamus agent, and she's sent to investigate strange phenomena around the world. And there's one going on in Tokyo behind this massive wall that you're sent to investigate. And whatever character you don't choose sort of serves as like your digital companion on your phone. They're always kind of telling you where to go. They sort of serve as the narrator in a lot of ways. Now, I don't want to spoil what's really going on behind this wall or what happens, but let's just say that it's presented in a really cool way and makes you want to keep playing the game and see what happens next. I really dug investigating all these anomalies and trying to piece together what was going on before the story itself revealed it. And I gotta tell you, I did not see coming what this game was really about, even though it's kind of right in front of your face the whole time. Because as the title suggests, there's elements of time travel and it's done in really cool and fun ways. And what really impressed me is there is a lot of voice acting. Most of the game is voice acted in English and also available in Japanese, and there's solid performances all around. I will say this, the setup / prologue to the game is a bit long. It took me like 7 hours to see the game's title pop up, signifying that the game is truly beginning, but trust me, stick with it, it's worth it. Next, I want to dig into what makes this game truly addictive and what kept me coming back hour after hour, and that is the Digimon management. Now, there are a lot of monster collecting games available now with all kinds of unique takes on the genre. However, what Time Stranger does here is unique and it's oh so addicting. Now, when you begin the game, you're given a Digimon to fight with, so you just have one. But as you defeat Digimon in combat as you're walking around exploring, you will obtain scan data on them. And the more you fight the same Digimon, the higher that percentage increases. And after a certain amount, you can convert that data into an actual Digimon and add it to your team. Now, I recommend only doing this at about 200%, because the higher the percentages, the better your base stats are. So even though it might be tempting to try to get the Digimon early, it's definitely better to wait so you can get higher stats. And I can't tell you how fun and addictive this game loop becomes. It made me want to explore every inch of every dungeon to increase my scan data so I could get every new Digimon possible. And it also made me want to do all the different side quests in case I encountered a different Digimon or simply just wanted to level up and keep evolving them. And now that's the next aspect, is digivolving my Digimon. So you can do this after hitting certain statistical milestones or after a certain agent rank, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. Usually you can digivolve easily by simply playing or leveling up your Digimon, but you might need to send them to the Digimon Island. Here you can place Digimon, feed them, or train them in certain stats. It's fun to build out the island, place different items, level up your Digimon, and then constantly going back to check and see where they're at. And be careful here because this can get truly addicting. You might be going off doing side quests, checking up on Digimon, going back and forth constantly. So if you love micromanaging in your games, or especially when it comes to different monsters like this, man, you are going to be on that island for hours and hours. But genuinely, it's really fun. And on top of that, there's different items you can get where you can essentially equip skills to your Digimon. So you can get these as you're just playing the game, or you can get them through various shops. So if you really like tinkering with your characters or your party members down to the nth degree, man, Digimon has as many options as you could possibly imagine. Now, what is your agent rank? Now, as you complete story missions and side missions, you'll earn points that you can dump into skill trees. This can increase experience gained for your various Digimon, as well as other stats based on the Digimon's personality type or current rank. Now, most of my Digimon ended up being relatively the same, so it was easy to decide where to dump these points into, and after you spend enough points, you will increase your agent rank. Now, certain Digimon can't evolve further unless you have a certain agent rank. So because of this, I found myself grinding a lot more, taking on more side side quests, especially ones that offered more agent rank points, so I could just level up as much as possible to see which new Digimon I could get. And as you can imagine, all these systems are tied together in really fun and rewarding ways. No matter what you're doing, whether you're just going through the story, dungeon crawling, taking on side quests, you are gaining progression in some way and improving your team in some way. And I love when games do this because it truly feels rewarding. Now, speaking of which, let's talk about your team and how combat works. Now, in the game, you can have a team of up to 6 Digimon and up to 3 guest Digimon. Now, you'll have 3 main Digimon that are always going to be in your party and then 3 in reserve that you can swap out on the fly without spending a turn. I love when games do that. It's super, super nice. Now, the game is turn-based combat. So you have your normal physical attack. You have abilities that cost SP. You can do special attacks. You can do healing. You can do buffs. There's tons more. And also, your character can use items once per turn. Now, they can't like attack per se. They can do a special attack that I'll touch on a little bit later, but you're mainly fighting with your Digimon themselves. Now, here's something that I really like is after you finish a battle, if you just wait for a few seconds, you will fully restore your HP and SP after every single battle, and it only takes a few seconds. So you don't have to waste items, you don't have to waste SP to heal up your various Digimon. I love when games do this, so you can just keep going and just get to the good stuff. There's a bunch of other cool things, nice quality of life things that if you love turn-based JRPGs, I love that they have these. So first, you can increase the battle speed up to 5 times, and they have various levels. And what I like is it doesn't just make the battles faster. It doesn't just speed up the animation and make you dizzy, because I know there's some JRPGs that do that. It simply cuts out part of the animation, and this makes it much more tolerable to sit through, but still makes it pretty quick. You can also see the turn order at any time, so you can see, which enemy is coming up next. You can anticipate their attacks, especially the boss battles that have these big attacks that you need to block. And also, I just think the UI looks really, really slick, very easy to navigate. It just looks nice. Not to mention the loading times in and out of combat are like seconds. They load very, very quickly. And as I mentioned before, there is a meter that will slowly build up, and you can unleash a big special attack. Now, at the beginning, you can kind of just buff your Digimon, but depending on what you dump skill points into, you can unlock various other special abilities. The one I ended up using the most was like a big, powerful attack that your main character uses with her gun. It just does so much damage. And what's nice is I found that the meter filled up pretty fast, so I just ended up using it quite a bit in combat because I'm like, okay, I don't need to save this for boss battles. I can just constantly use this as I'm exploring because it'll fill up pretty quickly. So I like when games do that, so you're not feeling like, oh, I only get to use this really cool ability like once per dungeon. No, I was using it all the time. And speaking of boss fights, I think this is where the combat truly shines. The longer fights require more strategy. You need to be constantly swapping out your Digimon just to see what the enemies are weak to, because there is a weakness system in the game. You have to actually think about blocking, because these boss enemies will do these big attacks, and if you don't block or if you have the wrong Digimons in, they can one-shot you easily. So there really is a lot of team building, a lot of strategy that comes into play, especially in these big fights. And the final boss might be one of the coolest boss fights you can experience all year. Now, one of the most important things to me about a JRPG is the vibe. How does it feel to be in this world? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it actually feel like to play the game? And the vibe in Time Stranger is 10 out of 10. I absolutely love the look of this world. Now, granted, most of it is Tokyo, but there are some wild dungeons. I mean, just look at some of these. They are crazy. Plus, the main Digimon town looks super cool. I absolutely loved exploring every corner of it to see what's going on, what all the Digimon are doing. And there's even this sort of like hangout bar location where a bunch of them are. It totally gave me Mos Eisley vibes, but for Digimon. Overall, the game just looks awesome. It's a huge jump in production value compared to the previous games. There's bigger environments, there's more details, more elaborate cutscenes. There's also these like really cool stylized cutscenes like these. They really went all out on the production value, and it really shows. And honestly, no surprise here considering MediaVision developed it, and they're probably best known for the Wild Arms series, and they worked on the later Valkyria Chronicles games, so you know they know what they're doing. And something else that adds to the vibes of this game are the costumes. There are some costumes that just come with the game or you're given, but there's plenty of others that you can buy at stores in the game. Not with real money, but like currency you earn just playing through the game normally. And some are even based on Bandai Namco properties like Pac-Man and Tails, which is really cool. I love being able to change my outfits in RPGs, so I love that there are so many available. I mean, just look at this Digimon onesie. It's absolutely adorable. And again, to be clear, these are purely cosmetic. They don't give any statistical tactical benefit. And the other important thing that adds to the vibe of this game is the music. One of the most underrated soundtracks of the year. It's this really cool electric J-pop. It swings from high energy to chill and everything in between. I love exploring in games, and it was a blast to just explore Tokyo, walk around these streets, go shopping with these beats bopping in the background. And lastly, I've been playing on PC and it looks and runs awesome here. Plus it's Steam Deck verified, so I've been having a blast playing this on the go or in my bed or just wherever I can take my Steam Deck. Overall, Digimon Story Time Stranger really surprised me this year. It took a huge leap forward with its production value, has a super addictive game loop, and has one of the best vibes of any game in 2025. If you haven't tried this game out yet, there's a massive demo that you can try for free to see if it's for you, and the best part is that your save data transfers into the full game. And there's also new story DLC that recently dropped, so if you've already finished the game or just want to get more out of it once you start playing, you can pick that up too. I'll leave a link in the description so you can order your own copy for either PC, PS5, or Xbox Series. Once again, thanks to Bandai Namco for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching.